Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com. I found an alarmist who tells me he has an IQ above 80. I post a lot of historical information on Twitter and Gab every day. I've probably made 10,000 tweets over the past decade discussing historical weather information. Here's one I made about an hour ago. During February 1953, a storm surge struck Britain, the Netherlands, and Belgium. It drowned more than 2,000 people and left tens of thousands homeless. This was Britain's most deadly natural disaster of modern times, and it's important for people to be reminded that we've always had extreme weather. Here's one I made on Gab 2 hours ago. On this date in 1904, it was 100 degrees at Eagle Pass, Texas, which was 25 degrees warmer than today. Someone with a lot of followers must have picked up on this because over the last 2 hours it's had quite a bit of activity. And I got a lot of responses like this one from Moderate Dude. Tony Heller, wow, I guess that one data point disproves global warming. Do you have any idea how stupid you sound to anyone with an IQ north of 80? But I didn't say anything about global warming or climate. I was simply listing an interesting historical fact. It's good to know, though, that Moderate Dude believes he has an IQ higher than 80. He's either projecting his own thoughts and very defensive, or he's a very poorly programmed bot which isn't good at parsing text. But while we're on the topic of February Texas temperatures, let's take a look at the history. This graph shows the highest February temperature recorded in Texas for every year going back to 1895. The hottest February temperature in Texas history was at Rio Grande City on February 26, 1902, when it reached 104 degrees. That is 40 degrees Celsius, which is pretty hot for winter. Texas has had 11 years when they got above 100 degrees in February, including 1902, 1904, 1917, 1918, 1940, and 1960. But there really isn't any trend. However, you can see that from year to year, February temperatures are extremely variable in Texas. In 1940, the peak February temperature in Texas was 102 degrees, and a year later in 1941, it never made it up to 85 degrees. Also interesting to note is that from 1964 to 1970, Texas didn't have any hot weather during February. This was an unusually cool period. This is a graph of hot February afternoons. Now let's look at cold February afternoons. The coldest February afternoon in Texas occurred in 1933. On February 7, 1933, Stratford, Texas never got above -8 degrees Fahrenheit. This year's coldest February day was much warmer. On February 15th, Muleshoe never got above 5 degrees Fahrenheit. They had some very cold weather in Texas this month, but it's really not that unusual. They've had many years in the past with comparably cold February weather. There's no indication that February extremes of heat or extremes of cold are changing in Texas, but one thing we can see for sure is that the weather is very variable from year to year. It's difficult explaining this to people and bots with an IQ just above 80, but I'm a very patient person. Toto has been pulling back the curtain on this nonsense for the past 13 years. You can visit him and Kyrie on the web at realclimatescience.com.